This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, boys and girls. Okay, so what is the previous classes ఏం చెప్పాను? వినపడుతున్నట్లేదు వాళ్ళకు. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Audible, sir.
Okay. Previously we talked about acute diarrheal disease. You've forgotten. Okay. Today we will discuss something about rheumatic heart disease. Okay. Have you heard? Have you heard anywhere? Rheumatic heart disease, rheumatic fever,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
pathology. Yeah. In pathology, this is one of the biggest entity and one of the important entity, rheumatic heart disease. Why? Because this disease actually it starts as an communicable disease, then end as an non-communicable disease. This is a one of a kind. Just remember, the starting of the disease will be like a communicable. When it settles down, it will become a non-communicable disease. That's why the rheumatic fever and the rheumatic heart disease are not they are not treating as a separate entity, and nowadays they are treating as an same entity. Okay, so what is the pre-existing condition for this rheumatic heart disease or rheumatic fever? What
Infection
causes?
with streptococcus, sir.
Streptococcus
Yes,
infection, sir.
Streptococcal infection.
very good. Post streptococcal infection, that is mainly streptococcal pharyngitis. In our layman words, it is called as common sore throat. This is how the disease will be starting, and we will know about all the problem statement. What are the epidemiological triad for this disease? That means agent, host, environmental and social factors. And then while coming to after that, we will discuss about the clinical features and we will discuss about the diagnosis part, that is how a case of rheumatic fever or rheumatic heart diseases can be diagnosed, and what are the different diagnostic terms which have been included in this case of RHD, and what are the preventive strategies, and how do you prevent all these things, and is there any national health program for this? This is an important essay notes for you people. Just listen to my class what I am about to tell you. It's very simple and it's very easy. Just try to remember the keywords. I will tell you to remember. If I tell, please note the point. That is the point you have to write in the examination. Okay. Okay, in this gross specimen, can you find out any abnormality in this specimen, in the PPT? Can you find out any abnormality here? Anyone? తప్పు చెప్పినా పర్లేదు. అసలు ఇంతకి ఏం స్పెసిమన్ అది?
Heart.
Sir.
Very good. Heart. So can you find out any abnormality in that one? ఎందుకు పెట్టాను ఈ పిక్చర్ చెప్పండి. సెక్షన్ తీశారు. డిపాజిషన్ ఆఫ్
Valves, sorry, the deposition.
This one, no re, not deposition. Can you make this? Can you make this?
Valve.
Very good. Valvular vegetation, and this is a case of mitral stenosis. Valves anni poinai. It's very difficult to find out in that picture, but so the common complication or the premature deaths, the cause of death in a patient of RHD causing in a RHD patients were valvular vegetation or mitral stenosis or mitral regurgitation, insufficiency, otherwise known as. All these terms will be included in cardiology. General medicine posting వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ చెప్తారు. Mitral insufficiency, mitral stenosis, mitral regurgitation, all these things which leads to PAH, that is pulmonary arterial hypertension, which is the foremost complications of this thing. Please do remember. From this picture, you have to remember mitral stenosis and mitral insufficiency and PAH, that is pulmonary arterial hypertension. This is the cause of death in a RHD patients.
నవీన
ఏందో పెట్టారు బాబు, మీ మైక్స్ అన్ని ఆఫ్ చేసుకోండి దయచేసి, నేను చెప్పేది మాత్రం వినండి. Okay, so as I told you, from an epidemiological point of view, you cannot differentiate between rheumatic heart disease and rheumatic fever. Those cannot be separated. Why? Because all these conditions will be coming simultaneously. After rheumatic fever, you will be getting a rheumatic heart disease. After that, you will be getting a rheumatic chorea. I will explain on these things. See, this rheumatic fever often leads to RHD, that is very crippling disease. Okay, so it is basically an febrile disease which affects connective tissues, that is mainly in the heart and joints. Just remember, rheumatic fever is an febrile disease, that is always fever will be present and affects mainly some connective tissues, that is heart and joints. In this case, initiated, see the term used is initiated. అక్కడ కాజ్డ్ అనే పదం కూడా వాడచ్చు, కానీ డైరెక్ట్ గా గ్రూప్ ఏ బీటా హిమోలైటిక్ స్ట్రెప్టోకోకై. This won't be causing directly towards RHD, but it causes first sore throat, that is streptococcal pharyngitis, which further leads to rheumatic fever and further leads to rheumatic heart disease. This is the sequence of action. First we will get sore throat, then fever, then heart disease. This is the circle. So it cannot be say that every sore throat patient will be leading to rheumatic fever and every rheumatic fever patient leading to RHD. But the high risk people will be getting the disease, but always precedes this streptococcal infection. So in this slide, what you have to remember is RHD is a crippling disease, and this disease is initiated by group A beta hemolytic streptococci. Clear? Clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Okay, we will go further. So I already told you, even though RHD is an non-communicable disease, first it is caused due to an communicable disease, that is streptococcal pharyngitis. Okay, initially it starts as an communicable, then start as an non-communicable. కొంచెం ట్రికీగా అడగడానికి కూడా మన ఎగ్జామినేషన్ లో కూడా అడుగుతారు నాన్న. Write something about a disease which starts as communicable disease but settled as a non-communicable disease. వెంటనే స్ట్రైక్ అవ్వాలి RHD అని. And it is one of the most readily preventable chronic diseases. So what are the main consequences of RHD? Why some people among young adults, that is below 35 years of age, while getting fever, sore throat, people will be dying? Why? What are the reasons? Why? Because these things: continuous damage to the heart, increased disabilities, repeated hospitalizations, and premature death, that is less than 35 years. And always in a case of premature death, you have to suspect RHD. Clear?
Yes, sir.
This is the
Yes, sir.
count RHD. Bro, tools rawa first. One second. మళ్ళీ ఇది పోవాలంటే డ్రాయింగ్ టూల్స్ పేజ్ కూడా మారట్లేదు. మనం చూపించాలి కదా. ఎస్కేప్ అది పోయింది. ఇప్పుడు అలాగే ఏదన్నా తీసేయాలంటే నాకు ఎరేజర్ అంటే ఎరేజ్ ఆల్ డ్రాయింగ్స్ ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళి స్పాట్లైట్ చూపిద్దామా మాకు బెటర్. ఓకేమా? పక్కకు కూడా పోతుంది, తీసేయాల్సిందేనా ఆల్వేస్? Okay, then we will know about the problem statement. Since rheumatic heart disease, how far it affected the worldwide nation and how far it affected the Indian nation. Okay, so they have written that worldwide there is about 15 million cases of RHD. In our India also, so much prevalence has been done. So among them, the important is Jai Vignan Mode project. It's an community-based project which was initiated in our country based on the control of rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease. Please do remember this name, Jai Vignan Mode project. Please do make a note. Okay ma, pillalu అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? Jai Vignan project. Okay, and this is a community control based this thing, and this project has been carried out with 4 main concepts. That is to study the epidemiology of streptococcal sore throat. Just epidemiology. If anybody is having sore throat, they have to study the epidemiology. Then establishing the registries for rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease. How far this rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease has been declaring, how far registering, how many cases are registering, how far recovered patients are registering. All the hospital registry have been covered in this project. Okay, for and vaccine development to for streptococcal infection. Since till now there has been no vaccine, definitive vaccine for this RHD streptococcal infection. Why? Because there is an very enormous genomic variations are there, very enormous genomic variations. If you develop a strain vaccine for particular this thing, instantly it is developing another strain. They are telling that in this case M5, M type 5. That's why because of that genomic shift and genomic drift, we cannot be able to find out, develop the vaccination. And one of the important component in this Jai Vigyan mode project is to develop vaccine and to conduct the advanced studies on pathological aspects. Since how many more pathological aspects were there regarding rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease? Okay. While coming to the epidemiological factors, first we have to deal about the agent factors. I already told you the causative factor will be group A beta hemolytic streptococci. You have to remember the name in this way, in this fashion only. Group A beta hemolytic streptococci. Why I am stressing on group A? Why? Because these group A streptococci are very sensitive to which drug? You have to tell. Yes, anyone? Pharmacology. Group A streptococci were resistant to which drug? It's a very simple question. Anyone?
Amoxicillin, sir.
Enana?
Amoxicillin, sir.
Amoxicillin, no re. Basic drug. Basic drug.
Ampicillin.
Okay, anyone?
Ampicillin.
Enana?
Ampicillin.
No. Any group of drugs? You are telling me group drug. I am asking the particular drug.
Vancomycin.
sir.
Vancomycin.
Yeah. Some
Penicillin.
Vancomycin.
Penicillin, sir.
good, very good.
Penicillin, sir.
Penicillins. Group A streptococcal were very sensitive to penicillins. That's why I'm stressing. Very good. Andru baga chepparu. Okay, and they use the term called rheumatogenic potential. Please make a note. Rheumatogenic potential. This is the term you have to use. See, all the strains of streptococci are not that much effective to cause rheumatic fever. Only rheumatogenic potential species will be having the potential to cause the rheumatic fever and further leading to rheumatic heart disease. And nowadays they established a virus factor also, that is Coxsackie B4. Please do remember, Coxsackie B4 virus is also causing they are told that it is an causative factor which causes this RF. And here streptococci will be acting as a conditioning agent. Conditioning means enhancing for smooth recovery. Smooth pathogenesis of this disease. Clear so far? For carriers also very frequent in this case. Why? Because convalescent and transient carriers will be very high. Okay, ma. In this slide, what you have to remember is it belongs to group A beta hemolytic streptococci, which was having rheumatogenic potential, and one more virus also established regarding this, that is Coxsackie B4. Carriers were very high. Okay, host and environmental factor. While coming to the age, it is a disease of an childhood and adolescence. That is 5 to 15 years age group of children and adolescent will be affected. Please do make a note. 5 to 15. Okay, And while coming to sex, it affects both the sexes, but regarding prognostically, males were having more prognosis while compared to females. Okay, that is, females were more affected when compared to male. That's what the sentence means. Then while coming to the immunity, according to the toxic immunological hypothesis, they are telling that these streptococci will be having certain toxic products which will be directly affecting the heart, which are antigenically relatively to the will be having cross relationship with the heart genomical factors. That's why these things will be leading to the immunological reactions, that is autoimmune disorders. The term particularly used for those conditions were autoimmune disorders. Why? Because some of the antigenic mimics in our body parts. That's why they in our defensive system directly targets that components of the organs. Here, mainly heart and joints. That's why we are having Rh. That is according to the toxic immunological hypothesis. Clear? Then while coming to the socio-economic status, as we all know, it is a disease related to poverty, overcrowding, which imposes the proposition of this disease, poor housing conditions also, and inadequate health services, inadequate expertise of health. Okay, all these factors leads to the probable cause of probable cause of these diseases regarding socio-economical status, poverty, overcrowding, poor housing conditions, inadequate health services, and inadequate expertise. Why? Because MBBS doctor cannot be having that much clinical knowledge while regarding while diagnosing this RHD. We should be having some post speciality, some super speciality. Then only you will be having the diagnostic property. Nowadays it has been become very simple while the revised Jones criteria has been there. Okay, we will discuss later. Okay, and these are the high risk groups, that is school going children, slum dwellers, and people living in a closed community. Okay, belonging to 5 to 15 years of age group. Okay, how these determinants were having the effect on rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart diseases. This is an direct picture from your notebook from the 25th edition of PARC. It has been clearly written all these things. What are the determinant factors and how it will affect, and what are the impact on RF and RHD. We will go one by one. Regarding socio-economic and environmental factors, so the effect will be the spread of group A streptococcal strains and difficulties in access in the healthcare. While people were having in remote areas, they will be having a poor housing conditions or living in poverty conditions. Okay, remote health services. So it spread, the strain spreads very rapidly, and they won't be having any accessing for a healthcare. So what happens? Higher incidence will be occurring in that diseases and higher complications also, and higher recurrence also. This is an important thing. Higher incidence and recurrence of rheumatic fever due to socio-economic and environmental factors. So what happens to the health system related factors? Okay, if at all any health system problems were there, what will happen? Ultimately, inadequate diagnosis and inadequate treatment of pharyngitis will be there. again higher incidence of rheumatic fever will be there. Higher incidence as well as higher recurrence also. So all these things will be like that only. Shortage of resources, inadequate expertise, low level of awareness of the disease among the community. So all these things leads to misdiagnosis or late diagnosis or inadequate secondary prophylaxis. So finally it leads to the ultimately higher incidence and higher recurrent rates, finally causing premature death among young and adults. That is less than 35 years of age group. People were dying due to rheumatic fever. So here what you have to remember is just remember the determinants. Social and economical factors, health related factors, all these inadequate expertise, shortage, all these things leads to inadequate diagnosis and inadequate treatment of patients, ultimately leads to the higher incidence and higher recurrence. So while coming to the clinical features is an foremost important factor for you people to remember. See, there they have written that based on revised Jones criteria. Just remember the name, revised Jones criteria. Okay, we will discuss one by one all the clinical features. So fever, what happens with fever? Typically there will be first streptococcal infection will be there, pharyngitis will be coming. After that, patient will be having fever. Okay, maybe my high grade will be there, more than 100 will be there. Mostly that typical characteristic will be the fever will be more than 12 weeks. Just remember the fever in the Park book also they have written that fever will be more than 12 weeks. Clearly they have written the statement. Just go through that. Okay. Then next is clinical feature will be polyarthritis. All the main joints will be affected like knee, shoulder, elbow, wrist. All the joints will be affected and severe myalgia will severe joint pains will be there. Okay. Then coming to the carditis. So can you tell me what are the layers of heart? Layers of heart. It's a very basic question.
Epicardium, myocardium,
Very good, very good.
endocardium.
Okay. Endocardium will be inside the heart. Only carditis, the covering layers, that is epicardium and myocardium are always affected in this case. That's why the term named as carditis. It is a very severe condition. Very severe condition. If at all the patient will be having carditis, definitely myocarditis will be there. That is hypertrophy. Hypertrophy of heart will be occurring. Okay, that's what it's written in carditis. So while coming to the nodules, so subcutaneous nodules are an important diagnostic factors. Those are called as rheumatic nodules. In clinically, if you follow the any Hutchinson book, clearly they will write about subcutaneous nodules, otherwise known as rheumatoid nodules. It is a characteristic feature for RHD. Then coming to the involvement of brain. How brain involvement will be there? Okay, in case of RHD, the brain involvement will be in the form of chorea. What do you mean by chorea? CHROEA. Have you ever heard?
Dancing movement.
Very good. Sydenham's chorea, rheumatic chorea, involuntary purposeless jerky movements of limbs. ఓకేనా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. కోరియా వచ్చిందంటే కన్నా డిసీజ్ చాలా అడ్వాన్స్ స్టేజ్ లో ఉన్నట్టు. Death is very certain and it will be very, very fast. This is a diagnostic factor. I mean prognostic factor. Involvement of brain. If at all patient is diagnosed with chorea, the death is very certain. And number of skin changes is also present. So in the form of skin rash. This is not a criteria. It won't be leaving any residual changes, but carditis will be having residual effect. Clear, ma? These are the clinical features of rheumatic heart disease, that is fever, polyarthritis, carditis, nodules, involvement of brain in the form of chorea, then coming to skin changes. While coming to the diagnosis, I already told you it's in the form of, so this diagnosis of rheumatic fever and rheumatic heart disease are based on the revised Jones criteria. Please do make a note of this point. Revised Jones criteria. So what he did is, so they have separately included, that is major manifestations and minor manifestations. In major manifestations, these are the things included, that is carditis, polyarthritis, chorea, and subcutaneous nodules also, and erythema marginatum also. This is the major manifestations. So what are the minor manifestations? That is during the clinical, that is fever and polyarthralgia. In laboratory, elevated aqueous phase reactants like ESR and leukocytes. మా ఈ స్లైడ్ మీరు మొత్తం నేర్చుకోవాల్సిందే. ఈ స్లైడ్ లో ప్రతి లైన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. Every line in this slide is very, very important. Okay, first line you have to remember revised Jones criteria, basically major manifestations, minor manifestations. In major manifestations, carditis, polyarthralgia, chorea, nodules, and erythema marginatum. While coming to the minor manifestations, in clinical features, basically fever and polyarthralgia, laboratorically raised ESR and raised leukocyte count. Ma clear so far? Are you understanding? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good, very good. Why? Because these things are very important. These are the points which will fetch you more marks. This. Okay. Already told you major manifestations and minor manifestations. Okay. So these are the various entities, diagnostic criteria. This is how we have to classify, diagnose the patient. Just remember, this slide is also very important. After you diagnosing the patient is having belonging to rheumatic heart fever, and you have to further classify him into these things, that is a primary episode of rheumatic fever, then recurrent attacks of rheumatic fever in patients without RHD, and next recurrent attacks of rheumatic fever with established RHD. The next one will be rheumatic chorea, then will be insidious onset of carditis, then chronic RHD. whenever you diagnose a patient of RHD, you have to fit the patient into these 6 diagnosis criteria and diagnostic conditions. Basically, in other words, RHD further classified into 6 classified diseases. Okay, first primary episode, then recurrent attacks without establishment of RHD, then recurrent attacks with the establishment of RHD, then chorea, then carditis, insidious onset of carditis, finally chronic rheumatoid heart disease patient. I will tell you what is the main criteria to diagnose the patient will be put into this classification. I will tell you. Okay. Okay. First thing. Okay. This thing. See. First thing. Primary episode of rheumatic fever. So what is the criteria? Any 2 major manifestations or 1 major and 2 minor plus evidence of preceding group A streptococcal infection. మా ఈ పదాలు మీరు బాగా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి. ప్లీజ్ డూ అండర్స్టాండ్ very carefully about these words. While you diagnose a patient belonging to primary episode of rheumatic fever, 2 major manifestations should be there at least, or 1 major and 2 minor. Overall 3 symptoms should be there, 1 major plus 2 minor, and evidence of preceding group A streptococcal infection. There should be some evidence in past 45 days that the patient has been affected with group A streptococcal. I will let you know what are the evidence of streptococcal infection for past 45 days. I will let you know. Let me complete this. Okay. Then recurrent attacks of RF without establishment of RHD. Okay. This is also same. 2 major or 1 major and 2 minor plus evidence of preceding streptococcal infection. So what will happen in the case of established RHD? Any 2 minor plus evidence of streptococcal infection. Then while coming to rheumatic chorea or insidious onset of myocarditis, that is carditis, all these things were, all the other manifestations are not required. Only chorea itself is a diagnostic feature. Rheumatic carditis itself is a diagnostic manifestation. ఏంటి అర్థమవుతుందా? వినపడుతుందా?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then chronic valvular lesions. So it does not require any other criteria. Just if a patient is having rheumatic heart disease and having valvular insufficiency or valvular stenosis, mainly of mitral stenosis or mitral insufficiency, the patients will be grouping under chronic valvular lesions of RHD. So this is the things which will let you know that patient is having post streptococcal infection within 45 days. That is, while you perform an ECG, there will be a prolonged PR interval will be there. This slide is also very important. It's an important Viva notes for you. Patient external examinations are very fond of this question. How will you say that a patient is having post streptococcal infection within 45 days? Then you will say that, sir, while we will take ECG, sir, if at all any prolonged PR interval is there, the patient is subjected to have the streptococcal infection in the past. Then elevated ASO, that is anti-streptolizin O or other streptococcal antibodies. Then positive throat culture or rapid antigen test positive for group A streptococci or recent scarlet fever. What is the other name given for scarlet fever? Anyone? What is the other name given for scarlet fever? Ma, microbiology. Very simple question. Okay, afternoon I will ask you. Afternoon 2 to 3 class is also mine. I will ask in 2 to 3. Clear? These are the things which will say that patient is having preceding streptococcal infection, that is prolonged PR interval, elevated ASO or streptococcal antibodies, positive throat culture, rapid antigen test positive for group A hemolytic streptococci, then recent scarlet fever. This is finished. My idea on the other. You got an idea regarding diagnostic criteria, categories? Then coming to the main part, that is prevention part. How we have to prevent the disease. So two strategies were proposed, that is primary prevention and secondary prevention. So the first thing is primary prevention. The main aim of this primary prevention is to prevent the first attack of rheumatic fever. First attack of rheumatic fever. That is, it is a viable approach to concentrate on high risk groups. I already told you what are the high risk groups. That is school going children, slum dwellers. One second, right?